Welcome back, everyone. And dinosaurs are back on the prowl. Jurassic World Rebirth is in theaters, and I went to go see it with my family last week. Let's just say this franchise needs to go extinct at this point. It's not it's not getting any better, and everything's going downhill in my opinion. So humanity's still alive alongside all the dinosaurs from everything that happened in Dominion and with the Chris Pratt era of the dinosaur rage. But now we're back with a new bad company that wants to take advantage of dinosaurs for their own selfish financial gain. And we got a whole new group of people, the new Avengers, that are going to go and get this DNA from the dinosaurs. And of course, in great dinosaur and Jurassic fashion, everything goes to shit. The new group and all the people have to survive and escape the place that they probably should have never put themselves in the first place. Sounds just like the other ones, yeah? It's basically the same movie that they've been doing every time they do Jurassic Park, but with way less of everything that made the other ones good. So let's get into talking about the characters, right? We have the lead actress, Scarlett Johansson, who's basically now the Black Widow of the Dinoverse. And we have Dr. Henry Loomis, who is played by Jonathan Bailey. I don't know why everyone's named Loomis now. I knew a Dr. Loomis back in the 70s and who lived in all the Halloween movies. And now I feel like there's a Dr. Loomis in movies all the time, and it's kind of driving me crazy. We have a Mahershala Ali, who plays Duncan, who is basically Scarlett Johansson's right-hand man, captain of the ship, the guy they go to. And then we have Rupert Friend. I don't know how to pronounce that fool's last name. He's our big corporate baddie who's gonna, wants to exploit the dinosaurs for their blood and DNA so that we can make this new medication and sell it at a place where no one can afford it, so that everyone, is gonna die anyway because no one can afford the medication they're making, but we're gonna make trillions off it. And then we have a bunch of other newer people that I don't really recognize who, to be honest, throughout the movie, you barely care anyway. They're just a bunch of generic characters, generic family. There is no emotional, care for any of these people that they put in this movie. And to be honest, no matter how good Scarlett Johansson does with what she's given, you barely care about her either. You're kind of just confused on where she stands majority of the movie because she flip-flops crazy on her stance on if these things are ethically okay, if she's about the money, if she's about, helping people. You really don't know. She's super ambiguous the entire movie. Now, the one good thing that the movie does do is, of course, in Jurassic Park is always fun with all this, is we go to see the dinosaurs, right? So credit where credit's due with this. They do a very good job with the animatronics and the CGI where the dinosaurs look pretty good. Some of the newer ones I think are just kind of dumb. I don't know why we need a new one every time we go. And we have the new D-Rex now, which, cool. D-Rex, T-Rex, E-Rex, all the Rex, you know what I mean? We got, there's so many of them, and they're making a new one every single movie. I think I'm perfectly fine just going and seeing, freaking T-Rexes fight and do all this stuff, which is another thing the movie's missing. We don't have any dino fights in this one, which is a big letdown. I need to see the dinos get down, I need to see one of them rip the other one up at least a little bit. The problem is that even though they look okay, there's nothing really exciting going on anymore. There's no sense of, ooh, ah, there's no sense of anything that really, is captivating. You're just cool, another dinosaur. And, you know what I mean? And then I think there is a raptor for 5 seconds that gets eaten by a fucking bird. I know it's not a bird, it's a pterodactyl, but... And then that's it. Where are the raptors at? They're replaced with some other stupid dinosaurs that aren't nearly as cool. And then you have the forgettable, useless action scenes that are too far in between a bunch of nonsense, right? So you get an action scene for a little bit, which is a little bit of a ride, and then it's back to just baloney. Big baloney sandwich. That's what this movie is, right?
Why is your cousin such a wet sandwich?
I beg your pardon?
Movie tries to tackle big ideas, you know, and do the same thing that the other ones do: corporate greed, humans trying to play God by messing with the gene codes and doing stuff we're not supposed to. And they lean heavily into the environment, and you know how the environment is so different, and we're gonna die because the environment's bad, and we're destroying everything. And you know, it's a lot of the same tropes that we're used to with these movies. But like I said, it's just there's nothing there for us. You know that's and nothing new under the sun, basically, and there's nothing that really gets you even like invested in the story. It's kind of one of those things where you feel like you're kind of just sitting there watching something happen, right? It doesn't feel like there's any real stakes to anything that's going on. And at the end, by the time we get to the end, there's really no payoffs to any of this crap, right? It's just a big. Another problem is there's really no character depth or character development to any of these people. They're all very surface level characters. Bad guy, nerdy guy, lady who's torn between being mercenary and being a considerate human being. The, of course, generic annoying family that does everything wrong and is extremely irritating the entire movie. And then they have the under subplots of the dad and the boyfriend not getting along and wanting to be friends, or you know, wanting to like each other, but the boyfriend is an annoying, rude, disrespectful piece of crap. I couldn't stand him. For some reason my kid thought he was hilarious, which is a big problem, but I couldn't stand him. And it's just, you know, another predictable just rehash of the same old stuff regurgitated for money. It just feels like a big cash grab, you know, that they didn't care to really flesh anything out or give us anything to really like go sink our teeth into. You like that one? Sink your teeth into dinos? Arr. Horrible. You have the same cartoonish villain, corporate guy who doesn't care about anything, only to lead up to him getting eaten in the last few seconds because he makes a stupid decision and is just a piece of crap, basically. I just feel like for the amount of time we spend with this movie, I believe the movie is like 2 hours. Yeah, it's like 2 hours and like 20 minutes or something like that. We could have squeezed this into an hour and a half, cut out a lot of the bloating and stuff that really is unnecessary to be there, and we could have made a little bit of a better movie because it's just full of forgettable crap. One of the best scenes in the movie is with the T-Rex, and I mean, the characters are so protected by plot armor. It really has nothing to offer us. You know what I mean? They get this magic boat or this magic raft that is like unpoppable, undamageable, gets literally chewed up by the T-Rex, and is still floating like nothing ever happened to it. Like I don't know. I'm assuming that it's a CGI raft too, because I never seen nothing that held together. Now, and like I said, there are good things in the movie. Dinosaurs are always fun to see. There's a scene where they're getting the DNA from the pterodactyl, which is pretty fun, you know. But you get that between all the other just like horrible stuff. And like I said, and when I say plot armor protected, like these characters are plot armor protected. I think that Dr. Loomis falls like 80 feet from a cliff into like some water, and he's just like gets up like it's all good. He's not even like hurt. He's just like it's all good. They're like, thank God he's alive. Like, if that's not protection by the script, I don't know what is. That guy should be dead.
I'm fine. I'm okay.
He should be dead, along with a lot of the other crew that gets killed. Like, there's no reason that guy should be alive. They try real hard to do the suspense and bring back the nostalgia. Family gets trapped in the store, which kind of brings you back to the original, where they're trapped in the kitchen and the raptors are trying to chase them. But it's just them trying to do something that worked and make it so it's just mediocrity and stupidity, and you know, it just doesn't ring all the right bells that the original did. My final verdict on this movie is it's a pass. I wouldn't go see it in theaters. I'd wait for it to come home if you care to see it at all.
That is one big pile of shit.
But this whole franchise just needs to go extinct at this point. I've officially lived long enough to see everything I grew up loving. All my favorite franchises have crashed, burned, and are now dead.
How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
Because they are just garbage. Like I said, it offers nothing new, and it's just a bloated 2 hours of wasteful time. There's like stuff. There's even like this whole subplot where the little girl is feeding this dinosaur some licorice, and now the dinosaur's her pet, and she's like carrying it around in her backpack and shit. Like, I literally had to look over at my wife and be like, "What are we doing here? Like, what is happening?" Yeah, I think this is a missed one. I think that this movie is not worth anybody's time or the price that you're paying for a ticket, because at this point, theaters and movies are costing, especially if you have a family, like near $100 just to go see a movie. And if you want to get a thing of popcorn and stuff, it's running you up there. I'd wait for this to come home. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about it? Are you guys going to go see this movie? Have you seen the movie? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.